The Indiana Fever escaped last night. They got the win, and every single win down the stretch matters 100%. They also showing that they have some massive issues with this team, despite the way the offense has been rolling. And I know the offense has been fantastic. And so I'm not here to be like, oh, the Indiana Fever are terrible. The sky is falling. But they showed again last night that they do have some things they got to fix, and we need to talk about it. Otherwise, they may be struggling when it comes playoff time because most likely they're going to play uh, a tough team in that first round, no matter who it ends up being. Because right now it's looking like it could be the Liberty, it could be the Dream. Which, come on, guys, it's always a tough game, and you never know which Dream team they have. Remember, even before adding Angel Reese, they were 30-14 last year, and the young Washington Mystics are slowly. What are they? 8-2 in their last 10, now 20-14 in the 7 spot. Only 2.5 games behind the Fever, by the way, in the 3 spot. It is bunched up, folks. So before we get to this game, I just want to go over that real quick. For those of you who don't know, we got Minnesota. Most likely the Lynx going to be the number 1 seed because you've got what, 8 games left. There's a 3 game gap between them and Golden State in second. But then the Fever in third, only 2 games behind Golden State. But the Aces are only a half a game behind the Fever. Fever is sitting at 24-12. Aces at 24-13. Okay, there's only a half game split there. The Fever have that slight advantage in the losses column. The Dream of play. I mean, the Aces have played one more game. Behind the Aces, you've got the Dream. They're only 1 game behind the Aces, so they're only 1.5 behind the Fever at 22-13. The Liberty only 2.5 behind at 22-15, and then the Mystics 3 behind. So, yeah, 3 behind between the Fever in the third spot and the Mystics in the seventh spot. Only a 3 game separation. Most likely, the Fever going to fall anywhere between 3 and 6, depending on how they finish the end of this season. And they got to fix some things, folks. They've got to fix some things to roll into the playoffs. I also want to mention Kelsey Mitchell real quick because she didn't play in the fourth quarter, which exposed one of the issues that I'm talking about, which we'll get to in a minute. As I'm doing this video, the latest I have is that she got overheated. No air condition in the arena in Toronto, so I could see that happening for a lot of players. But apparently, that was the issue for Kelsey Mitchell, and it hit her kind of hard. So it looks like, you know, do the fluids and all of that, and she will be fine for the next game. Fingers crossed for the Indiana Fever. That is what I have as I'm doing this video. But yeah, man, and that fourth quarter showed a lot of the problems, but not just the fourth. The Fever again blew a lead, right? 57 points in the first half, 57-49 lead at halftime. They got outscored by the 10-24 expansion Toronto tempo. I always want to say Raptors, man, in the second half, 46-44. It got close. I think it got as close as, was it 3 or was it 4? It might have been 4. Marina Mabrey hit a couple of big threes. Of course, one she banked in from straight on, but that's kind of how it rolls sometimes. But let's talk about some things that are an issue for this team. Hold on, I want to get this up so you can see it too. This one number, I'll tell you a couple of the biggest concerns, and here's one of them, man. This one number, if we scroll down, offensive rebounds for the Toronto Tempo, 18 offensive rebounds. That is absolutely insane, man. Aaliyah Boston's, I don't know what she was doing, but there's no excuse for Aaliyah Boston to have 6 rebounds, man. Michaela had 7. They both had 5 defensive rebounds, but obviously that wasn't enough. Even Lexi Hull chipped in with 6, but this team cannot continue to give up second chance points. I've been saying it all season long. That's one of their biggest weaknesses. They give up too many second chance points. And when it is a close game, that is a massive problem for this team. They struggle to close out games. They give up too many second chance points. They give up too many offensive rebounds to the other team. I know those second two go sort of hand in hand, but That is a big issue because in the playoffs, for the most part, you're probably going to be playing close games, man. You're probably going to be playing close games. And here's the other thing with the offense that we saw once again last night. The Indiana Fever struggle. They struggle so much when Kelsey or Caitlin aren't going off because the entire offense is just built around everybody stand around and let's hope Kelsey Mitchell or Caitlin Clark create something that allows us to get a bucket. Seriously, that all right, let me clarify. That is their half court offense, right? When they're running, when they're able to run for the most part, and Caitlin's allowed to be Caitlin, they're good. When they get into a half court offense, it's Kelsey, create something. Caitlin, create something. Everyone else stand around. That's their half court offense. And it looked awful last night when they were in the half court offense. It's what this is Caitlin Clark's game was one of those again where you say, you know what, that's really not her best game. Now she was shooting really well early. Okay. So I mean she didn't have a terrible game, but I'm saying in Caitlin Clark world, you look at that game like it's all right. And yet it's still a monster game compared to the rest of the WNBA, right? That's what we continue to find out. 24 points, 7 assists, 7 of 16 from the field, 4 of 9 from three. I mean, those are solid, right? Kelsey Mitchell, 29 points, not playing the fourth quarter and 29 points. And this is the game where I'm going to give her total credit because, damn, she shot lights out. She only took 16 shots, 11 for 16, 4 of 6 from three. Even grabbed 3 rebounds and got 2 assists. Uh, Big issue with the offense in the half court too is Aaliyah Boston has basically, it seems like, given up on ever being in the post, even though she's their center. She's always going to be the hub. That wrecks everything about this offense, having Aaliyah Boston out there as the hub. That is a massive problem for this team. Aaliyah Boston needs to put her Big Mac butt under the hoop and start developing a post game. Because y'all have seen now, 0 of 2 last night. I think she was 0 of 4 or 1 of 4 or 1 of 5 the game before. When she is not wide open as if it's a practice three because of something Caitlin Clark did to get her there, she's not the three-point shooter y'all think, okay? She's not the three-point shooter now she's greatly improved. I'm just saying, yeah, we look at her percentage, but she's not Kelsey Mitchell or Sophie Cunningham or Caitlin Clark. Sophie had a great game last night, by the way. 13 points in 28 minutes, 3 of 4 from the field, 3 of 3 from three, even got to the line, 4 or 5 from the line, couple rebounds, couple assists. Now, I got to say this about Caitlin Clark, too, because this was part of the struggles. I think she had 5 turnovers, 7 for the game, 5 turnovers in the third quarter. I know you're thinking, well, wait a minute. You have been one of those, her turnovers don't matter. You've done most of, you as me, have done multiple videos on it. You've broken it down. You looked at the Hall of Famers in the NBA and on and on and on. Agreed. But we haven't talked about this in a while. If you remember, I also said this. The turnovers that do bother me are the mentally lazy turnovers that happen at times when she's handling the ball that aren't even necessarily forced, where she's got her head more focused on what she's seeing instead of what she's doing right in front of her, right? And that's what a number of those turnovers were last night, where they were mishandles that weren't really forced by the defense, right? Where she dribbles off her leg, or I was going to say, not even, yeah, I can't remember her pocket being picked clean so much as she just was sloppy with the ball. And it doesn't happen often, but she gets that way every once in a while. And it's a mental thing, right? We're just kind of mentally lazy and she gets away from the focus. Real quick, just to give you an idea, any of you have ever played a sport, or maybe you have a kid that plays a sport when they're young and you're tossing the ball, or you're out at the basketball court with somebody else and they're tossing you the ball, or you're chucking a football around or whatever, and it's like autopilot, right? And every once in a while ball goes right through your hands. Mental, right? That's all mental. You're such a groove of what you're doing that your focus isn't really enough on what you're doing, And that's, even see it in the NBA rarely, but Caitlin does have that issue where she gets into that situation every once in a while mentally. And that was the third quarter for her, right? She was very sloppy mentally with the ball in her hands in the third quarter. I don't care about any of the passing turnovers. She has such high usage. No matter how good a handler she is, she's going to get her pocket picked every once in a while. But I don't like the mentally sloppy turnovers. And we haven't seen much. Like I said, I don't think I've even talked about it yet this season, right? So she's been pretty good. It just last night was not a great example. So this team, you've got second chance points slash other teams' offensive rebounds. Bad. You've got a very, very bad half court offense. Half court offense that relies too much on Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark's individual talent. And understand that's what's carried this team. Love Michaela Timpson, love Sophie Cunningham, but because of Coke White and the system, Kelsey Mitchell and Caitlin Clark's ability to create without help is what carries this half court offense, which could spell nightmare in the playoffs, man. That is it. And then I got to show this. I think this is important to talk about as well because there's something I love about it and something that annoys me about it. I'm curious what y'all think. Kelsey Mitchell got annoyed with Marina Mabrey last night and let her know. Hopefully, I can show this. A little shove, the finger in the face saying, "Hey, no, 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 you gonna stop." What's wild about this, folks, to me is, well, first of all, this is what I'm talking about that I hate. I don't even think Caitlin Clark's in at this point, but she does it when she's in. Aaliyah Boston, you're not a point guard. Get your butt under the basket. But here's the thing I love that Kelsey Mitchell said, "You know what? Enough is enough. I'm not taking it," because obviously Marina is grabbing her. Marina, this is the type of stuff. This is where this is not about this. And what I mean is this is the breaking point for Kelsey Mitchell of what Marina was getting away with all game long. And Kelsey said, "No, no, no. I've had enough. You're going to stop. I'm going to draw the attention of the referee with this as well." Here's the issue that I have with it all, folks. All the stuff we know, and I'm not going to rehash it all here, all the stuff we know that Caitlin Clark's gone through on the court since she got into the WNBA. I've never seen Kelsey Mitchell in the same damn zip code. Where is this fire just once when Caitlin Clark is on the receiving end of this crap? Just once, I would like to see Kelsey Mitchell be like this because, hey, now we all know she has it, right? It's in her. That fire, because she grew up playing with boys, right? She grew up playing with boys because of her dad. That's where she's got that, right? That's where she got that because she had to stand up for herself. She had to assert herself. She got that fire, but we've never seen it really. And we certainly have never seen it with Caitlin Clark. I would love to see it. So that's why this is kind of a mixed bag. It's like, Kelsey, I love it. Kelsey, whenever anything happens to Caitlin Clark, you're two towns over. I was gonna say my man, but then it's 2026. Someone will get mad at my very normal, inoffensive phrasing. Anyway, so love it. Would have loved to see it for Caitlin Clark once in a while. That would be cool. Oh man, but every game matters the rest of the way. They're bunched in terms of that seating. Got to rebound off the defensive boards. Oh, by the way, real quick, shout out Michaela Timpson again. Another solid game. I think 8.7 rebounds, something like that. She makes layups and they look like good, solid layups. Love that she's getting the minutes she's getting. By the way, they're knock on wood. I'm not jinxing anybody. They are 6-0 now, I believe, when Michaela Timpson starts. I'm just saying. Shout out to Lexi Hull for not being great, but being better, folks. Uh, didn't hit a three. I thought she did hit one, but I guess not. But 2 for 6. Not great, but 4 points is more than she's been getting lately. But here's the big thing that I like: 6 rebounds in 14 minutes, which tied Aaliyah Boston's 6 in 27 minutes, one behind Michaela Timpson's 7 in 32 minutes. They needed 5 off the defensive glass. Considering Toronto had 18 offensive rebounds, they needed every single one of Lexi Hull's boards. So was it great? No, but if you're looking at her as now as a 10 to 15 minute player, I'll take those 6 boards. They need it. They got to rebound off the defensive end better. They're going to have to run more because that half court offense of Coke White's is bad. And then we gotta hope that Caitlin and Kelsey are enough when we do get into the half court. We'll see how it goes. Let me know your thoughts in the comments below. Like, comment, subscribe. Y'all know the drill. I'll talk to you later.